Hey everyone, it's day 13 of the Win or Learn 25-day risk-taking experiment. I'm Harlan Cohen, author of the book Win or Learn. I'm so excited that you found a place where you can do the things that you love to do. That's what this is about, and today is all about places. So in order to get where you want to go, you're going to need your places. Let me explain to you the importance of places. So in high school, I graduated with a place. I had people, I had community. It was great. I mean, I started off high school and I was so uncomfortable and it was so awful and it was so challenging. And then eventually I got comfortable in my skin. I ended up being part of this really cool group. People appreciated me, they liked being around me. I got to do things that gave me a sense of joy. It was awesome. But then something happened. I left. I went to college. I went to the University of Wisconsin in Madison, an amazing school that has so many opportunities. But I really didn't think of college as how am I going to create a life for myself in a place where I could align with the things that give me joy? Like what 18-year-old thinks that way? But for me, it was I'm going to go to the best school that's got a great reputation and good things will happen. But I went there and I couldn't find friends. My roommate wasn't someone who I connected with. I didn't get into the fraternities. I got rejected. My high school girlfriend ended up breaking up with me. So I was a freshman in college. She was a senior in high school. And I didn't have my places. And it really was hard for me. And I got really down and I got really depressed. I eventually transferred to Indiana University. And the reason I transferred is because there were places for me. I had a fraternity where I was a legacy. They had no choice but to take me. And then I went to the campus newspaper. I started to write for the paper, which was the beginning of my writing career. And then eventually I was in this improv troupe, which created a lot of joy. And when I graduated from college, I got involved with improv in Chicago. And I started to learn that the way to navigate change is to find places. And if you don't have people, places are the best way to be able to find that connection and community. It's amazing that we don't teach teenagers how to navigate change. And really, it's about people and places and patience. The places piece is so important because when you put yourself in a place for a long period of time, you build meaningful relationships. And that's where you can be vulnerable, go after what you want, and create something wonderful. I have made a career out of helping people to find their places. And the reason the Naked Roommate book, if you're not familiar with the Naked Roommate, I haven't really talked much about it, but there's, close to 1 million books in print, and I have a book for parents. And the reason that book is so successful is because it helps students to get comfortable with the uncomfortable and really understand the importance of places. When you are engaging in your risks, it's places. I mean, it's about places. Where are you going to find those people where you can be supported? You're going to be making changes in your life. And when you make changes, it can be really hard to find connection and community. Places really give you an opportunity to do that. This is my family. The last day we lived in downtown Chicago. Gosh, everybody's getting so much older and so much taller, and everyone had so much more hair. I think I might have about the same. I joke about my hair, but I'm like hanging in there. So places are really important when dealing with change. When we moved from the city, the first thing was, all right, how can we help our kids find their places? How can we help them to find their people? And we've been really transparent as they've gone through each grade of making it clear you need your places. COVID's been really hard because it took away all of their places and it also took away their people. And a lot of students got impatient and panicked. But when you think of places and you are able to frame it in this particular light, it becomes very clear how important places are and how you need to make an effort to find your places. For every risk, you're going to need at least 3 places. I like the finger thing. These are the places where you're going to find connection and community answers and support, and being real intentional about at least 3. And the reason I like to have 3 is because usually 1 or 2 end up kind of cycling in and out. Maybe you're not always crazy about the people or what's going on at these places. You want to make sure that you always have access to these places. These places you'll see can be virtual, they can be face-to-face, they could be so many different types of environments. So where are your 3 places? And what are these places? I'm going to even make it simpler. Places are where you sweat, play, pray, live, learn, lead, and love. Sweat, play, pray, live, learn, lead, and love. So these are the places where you can put yourself. These are the places where you can find help and support when it comes to your risk-taking experiment. If fitness and mental health is important to you, sweat in places with people. If you can't be in a place because of the dynamics of your life or where you live, be in a virtual place. It's amazing how you can actually work out in groups. You can work out with people at the same time. You can engage with them in a virtual environment, or you can go to a studio or go to a place where you see people. I used to go to Orange Theory before all the COVID stuff, and it took like, I'd say 2 years to really get from, hey, to having some meaningful conversations. It could take a while, but sweat in places with people. You also want to play, have adventures, seek out experiences that will fill you with joy. Praying is a cool thing. Like, praying's cool. When I talk to students, I tell them, find places where people pray, because you meet nice people and you get free food, right? Like, that doesn't get any better than that. But those places tend to be welcoming. There are oftentimes adult learning groups. They oftentimes will have charities and fundraisers and wonderful ways to be able to connect. And then places where you live, just in your environment where you're walking, saying hello, asking people really thoughtful questions and actually wanting to know about them and their lives. If you see them on Facebook, you can actually bring up something you saw and engage in some meaningful dialogue. Learning is so great because I like classes, because classes give you a clearly defined role and you are with like-minded people who have similar interests. So taking a class and engaging with those people and being part of the leadership wherever you are, if you're engaging, because when you're part of the leadership, you meet more people. Then you meet some of the administrators and you meet people who have lots of experience, who also know lots of people. One of the things that I do when I go to conferences and events is I'll ask the professionals, where are some of the places you go? Where are some of the places you come up with ideas and meet with some of your contemporaries? Because I don't think I use the word contemporaries. I'll say colleagues. No, I'm getting all fancy. Contemporaries. Love. Do things you love in places where you can be around people who share those interests. Take advantage of all options. Online, virtual places are phenomenal because so frequently you're able to take them offline, face to face. Grown and Flown is such a cool community. And what's so cool about Grown and Flown is there can be a student who is halfway across the country or halfway across the world, and a parent will say, my son or daughter needs X, Y, or Z, and I can't get there for 12 hours or 24 hours. And then someone will say, I can help. And it becomes this village and this community. When it comes to working out, I've been into Peloton lately. I really like the community. It's connected me. I like being part of this bigger group. There's also Facebook groups as well. And I've got friends who I follow who will ride at the same time. Reddit is a really amazing community where you can ask questions and people will give you answers. And again, you can really find specific information if you don't know the places to find answers. If you don't know the places where you can engage and do the things you want to do to help support your risk-taking experience, it's another place to do that. And then Clubhouse, I mentioned this the other day, but Clubhouse it's like a live podcast. You have all of these experts who are sharing their insights, and you're able to be in this place, in this clubhouse, and you're able to absorb all of this information. There are so many places for you to find answers, connection, and community. Places where people want you to be successful. It's really important. Places where you have access. You got to make sure you have places where you have access. In addition to those places where you might also need to be invited. Anyway, you get the idea. You need your places where you can sweat, play, pray, live, learn, lead, love, and I'm even going to throw in work. So the question is, where are your 3 places? Think of the risk you want to take. Tell me what that risk is, and tell me the 3 places where you're going to find connection, community, and support, where you can find answers, where you know that you will be able to find community no matter what. So send those to me. You know how to do this. We've been doing this a while. However you want to send it to me, I am here with open arms. This Facebook group, I'm really working to make this a place where we can support each other today, tomorrow, long into the future. Also, social media, I'm in lots of different places and I'm constantly finding really interesting stories. And I'm happy to connect you also to any of the people who I am already connected with. And of course, I say this week after week, anyone can join at any time. If this is your first week, this is great. Just catch up real quickly. We're going to be here for you. We want to help you. We want to support you. This is a place where you're going to find great people so that you can go to places you've never even imagined. I'm so grateful to be in your corner. I'm so excited to be here. And as always, I look forward to continuing the conversation. Thanks, everyone.